Real quick, if you like taking to the skies to shoot down dragons and making custom airships, maybe check out Sky Zephyrs using the link below. It's a neat Kickstarter project that's nearing the end of its campaign and could use some support if it seems like a cool idea to you. It's got rules for traveling and fighting in the sky, which is great for any high altitude campaign. Or low altitude, because it's got submarine applications too. Or no altitude, because of space. There's a bunch of characters, monsters, items, STLs, and a whole big interactive system where you can quickly build like 5 different custom sky vessels for your next session. Or build 100. I don't know, go crazy. It's a cool little project, so if you want, check out Sky Zephyrs by going right down there and then throwing exactly 10 cents at them. Or 25 bucks, which feels like the standard $5 bill these days. Man, now I'm sad and I want Taco Bell. Alright, go listen to the video, Logan, and leave sponsorship Logan to his sky dungeon. Hello, do you like summoning creatures? From playing the flute to conjuring swarms of raccoons to drawing pentagrams in the playground sandbox, adding more creatures and demons and elementals to the party is fun. They can deal extra damage, get you a beer from the fridge, do your chores, drive your carriage, and stand there completely silently until your character remembers to give them a command. Waiting endlessly for the hours, days, weeks until you remember that you can roll initiative for them too. The problem with summons at nearly every table is that they're rarely given personalities or any semblance of presence outside of combat. I mean, the description in all the spells just say, it's independent, but it'll follow your verbal commands and it can do stuff for like everything but undead. It's not really inspiring advice. Dungeons & Dragons is a combat-centric game that we've recently all agreed to turn into a storytelling game. And in that transition, a lot of great opportunity is lost on the sidelines. Not just familiars, but all the class-based summons could use a little spruce up. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you some character ideas for just what the heck does pop up when your wizards and druids flood your combat with monsters. Well, they stare, wall-eyed, flooding their pants with oyster sauce as they roll 6 new initiatives. Now you don't have to just take that, you can turn their abuse into a mistake, or just make it fun and interactive if that's what you're lacking. Starting with some familiars. Since you can only summon one spirit familiar to you, any form that your familiar takes will actually have the same personality. Just depends on what type you pick. Like a Fae. Let's name our Fae spirit Chumble D. Fiddle. He's an annoying little guy who constantly insults the party through telepathy. His favorite forms are octopus, cat, and raven. Chumble eventually learns to speak common as a raven if you keep him in that form for too long.
Oh, hi! Hi! This isn't working out, Daniel.
And he'll knock stuff down as a cat or play music as an octopus. Chumble D. Fiddle will obey commands reluctantly and gets upset when he's made to do things that he doesn't really want to do. Like steal your slippers that night kind of upset. Our celestial spirit will be Chub the Lightbringer, and all her forms are absolute units. She demands attention and treats and pats, gives bad advice that she thinks everyone should follow, and will always race headfirst into battle unless you command her not to. She prefers the form of a cat, an owl, or a rat. For the fiendish spirit, we'll call them Dingbat Soup. They intentionally play a literal devil on your shoulder, telepathically suggesting the most violent solutions to your problems. Dingbat Soup is a more intelligent spirit and can figure out how to help their master even when not commanded. This can lead to mundane magic items being gifted to their wizard, followed a day later by a visit from the guards. They like being a crab, a lizard, or a snake. I think that when the player isn't describing their summon's actions, they should be allowed to let the DM step in and do some stuff. Yeah, as long as both agree to do that and have the same idea of who the summon is. There are some simple spirits you can conjure with spells, like with Find Steed, where it's pretty average but supernaturally smart, but not that smart. I'd like to see an adventure where the summoner gets captured so this conjured steed goes off to help, and comes back busting down the door with allies to save them. Conjure animals is great because none of them are animals. They're all wild fae spirits that could potentially run rampant if you summon too many. Like if you look away from them for too long, they just start acting like the monkeys in Jumanji. Conjuring up higher level fiends gets complicated in a really fun way, and dungeon masters can add entire subplots or main plots to casters who reuse the same spells to summon demons or devils. So demons are little guys that spew out of the sewers and unclogged sinks of the universe, like bacteria the size of dogs or cars. But they adapt and they have weird nature. Maybe each time your summoner conjures demons, although they run rampant instantly, maybe they get more volatile with each summon. Like you kill them off with ice the first time, so when you summon new ones they're covered in ice and they gain resistance. Although the low level ones are stupid and mindless and not really a gold mine there, the bigger ones could be commanded and contained. It's really cool that you can bind them into circles and shame them for trying to kill you earlier. You might even be able to befriend and re-summon the same dude till he dies. But for devils, even small ones like imps, they'll constantly ask for mundane contracts. Maybe they try to convince your party that they're already under a contract and need to fulfill something for that devil. The good thing about devils is when they die, they reincarnate back at hell like in Hades. So you can either torment one or be tormented by one, and it might even seek revenge for being summoned in the first place and show up at night without spending a spell slot. Elementals are currently one of Dungeons & Dragons' biggest weak spots, since they both are and aren't constructs, and they do and don't have identities. So I say, as a guy who bought the book and can alter the rules, fuck that. Each elemental should have a personality. For water, you could have like Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's always a buff ice sculpture in every form, but he's like super aloof and only says things that make you sad. For wind, you could have Hurricane Sandy. She likes property damage and SpongeBob and the beach. Or for fire, you could have that one babe from the movie that nobody saw. What's her name? Ember Lumen? What the fuck? For dirt, you could have like Chain the Rock Johnstone. It's just The Rock. You literally summon the half Samoan actor from California into your D&D setting. That's all your campaign really needs. Just do bad impressions of actors for all the non-player party members and it'll go well. That's a video. I do really just hope that more DMs roleplay the non-human NPCs in their party. It's a fun time. I have a player with like 5 raccoons and they help me move the story along by getting into the shenanigans that I create. Okay, goodbye.